Let me show you an insane Galewing strat that just felt so good and consistent when I tried it. I know that it will definitely help you out a lot as well. This was shared by Dami, who is also an amazing player and streamer. He shared it on Twitter, so go check him out. I'll leave links down below. And he described the kind of leveling curve and the hero powers that he took and the amazing results that he got with it. And a lot of other people replied to that tweet with their own amazing results using that technique. So I hate Galewing. I think it's a pretty bad hero and I just don't enjoy playing it. But I picked it just to give it a go, and this was that game. It felt really good, so let me share with you how you pull this off. Turn 1, you choose the middle option, the discover, which happens at 3 turns, and now you just gotta get to tier 3 on turn 5, 7 gold. And I think most leveling curves get there whether you play the basic curve. In this game I played the warrior curve because I wanted to stay on tier 1 because it was pretty strong and maybe I get some triples lined up. You can also Jeeve curve it, but you know, most of the time if you play normal you get to tier 3 on 7 gold. But you want to play tempo boards because you need to get your buddy on time. If you get your buddy a turn late, you are screwed. This means that on the 6 gold fight you need to be receiving your buddy. So after your first hero power triggered and you got your discover, next up you need to choose the right side option, the one that reduces leveling in 5 turns, because it lines up really well with how you're gonna level and when you play your buddy. So as mentioned, I do a warrior curve, meaning I double level here on 7 gold, play my buddy and lock a triple. Now with your triples I don't think you need to be too greedy because you'll be able to use the tempo with what we're about to pull off. On 8 gold you just want to level to tier 4 because now next turn our hero power is gonna trigger because of our buddy, discounting our level to tier 5. Now from this triple I wasn't really able to get a good tempo spike, so I just took what has most potential with us going to tier 6 soon, which is the Agam. But yeah, your goal is to get strong, to be on tier 4 and 8 gold. Now level next turn when our buddy helps us trigger our level hero power early, and then we're gonna go for another discover because, well, we're on tier 5 now, but this is not where we want to stay. Next turn we just want to go up again, and then the turn after we'll get another discover. The scariest part is that you can drop pretty low in health, so you need to know how to stabilize properly on tier 6, hoping that the good tribes are in. Now this lobby actually didn't have that many good tribes. Like dragons were out, and dragons are the best on tier 6 because of double Kaligos, Nadina potential, so don't get too greedy at this point. And now here's the beauty of this curve, because this isn't where it stops. You first discover another 6, and then you triple your buddy, discovering another 6, and from now on whenever you choose your discover flight path, so the middle option with your hero power, you discover next turn. So as long as you can greed and keep the buddy around, you can discover a single 6 drop every turn. So this turn is supposed to be your huge spike and big payoff for taking this leveling curve. And from here on out the game kind of unfolds and is different every single time depending on what 6 drops you got here, what direction you got going, and where you have to lean into. So that's the curve. Now I'm just gonna let this game play out because it's really interesting. I'm gonna narrate over it. A quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these types of videos. Thank you. So I was able to set up a clear menagerie here with Agam Flat Tusk, which is again kind of my goal. That's why I took the Agam for my 5 drop, because I knew we were gonna discover a bunch of 6s. We also got 2 Amalgadons. Sadly one of them got taunt. They both got Divine Shield though, so they could get Poison Divine Shield. One of them almost guaranteed. I ended on to another Murloc, and look at the power difference right now of us compared to this Red King. I'm able to poison one of my dongs, the other one has also died, so we could even triple this Amalgadon. It's a Murloc lobby anyway, so from this discover I took the Amalgadon knowing there's at least like 4 more in the pool. No one else is tier 6 with me and they're all for me. I can roll Seafood Slingers, Lookouts, so I was comfortable doing this triple. And there's a Bran as well. Bran, still one of the best cards in the game, allowing so many different things to happen. And damage cap is also super important here. As you can see, we're 5 HP. Damage cap saved us, and there's still no one dead. But now the snowballing begins. Like, you just keep discovering 6s left and right from Seafood Slingers, your hero power, more triples. It is completely wild, and this is why I like this Galewing strat so much. I was almost selling my buddy here, but I started thinking, isn't Bran just worse than buddy? Like, I rather discover another 6 for another turn, or 2 6s if I can keep it around for longer, then I have a Bran that potentially doesn't do anything for me next turn. Like, it isn't guaranteed value yet, so I rather just get another discover into an Amalgadon here, and then, you know, I'll maybe find a Bran later, maybe not. I'm also finding a triple rock pool here, which I did freeze mainly because, well, Amalgadon or Flat Tusk would still be nice. Also, this Mutinous has a very interesting board. Like, it's not that weak, but it just loses super hard to poison. Again, if you have a 7 in the lobby, going with Trickster Bolts isn't super consistent. Now, this discover, not the greatest. I just took an Eliza because it's another tribe in case you do hit the Dong here from this Rock Pool triple. And I can keep my buddy for longer because you're facing the Ghost. So that's another benefit of being low in HP and taking greedy lines. If there's a Ghost in the lobby, you're likely to face it and to stabilize even harder. So I found a pair on Flatus here, another triple onto Seven. I took it like this because I'm hoping that we triple our Flatus here from the Seven or from our rock pool, and we did. And now, yeah, things just go kind of insane and out of control. We hit another tribe, I guess, a demon, so I just took it. And we have Menagerie, but only a Malgadon, Agam or Flatus as a Quillbore, and then Murloc. So it would be nice to find another tribe on the board. I'm gonna keep the Buddy probably one more turn just because we're up against Ghost, but next turn, like, it is my only flex spot. I guess the Murloc, the Rockpool Hunter, could go as well. So we'll have to see how we want to solve this issue. That's always the most awkward thing about Menagerie, especially with Agam Flatus, and that is board space, because can you even fit a brand on the board as well? How many tribes do you have then? I decided to take a Zep here from my Discover because my opponent is Pirates, so maybe there's Scallywag comp, and Zep would be able to counter that pretty nicely. I lost count of how many different 6-drops we saw this game, but you could clearly pivot into any build. Like, if there were no Murlocs in this lobby, no poison, you could just take all the Fellbats, go big demons. You could go into Scallywag, Eliza, insanely strong pirates, big elementals. So, you know, there's just so many possibilities. That's why I chose Menagerie over all of those, because, well, there's poison in the lobby, and with Menagerie you can get a big, well, there's no cleaves in this lobby, but you can get Amalgadons online very easily, get poison yourself, and just be strong until you have an endgame to go for. So I'm gonna attack in a Zap. As you see, all I'm doing these turns is just cycling cards. Yeah, Zeb just completely destroys this guy. It's pretty funny, honestly. We're gonna deal like 30 plus damage, but these turns I'm just cycling cards, taking every token I find or anything that's economy to try and get me gems from this golden flat disc onto Agam, because it's already a top 4. Like, if I just do more strong shit, cycle more cards, like I'm taking Elementals, taking Lookouts just to generate more gems here, get more stats onto the board. And now Mutinous, we know they were the Trickster comp, and here's also a golden Imp Mama, because why do I not need another golden 6-drop on the board? Just 6-drops everywhere. Now there's also a Cat in the top 4, which is scary. Like, if Cat is going to be my final opponent, we could be in trouble. Now, one crazy thing is that I never saw another Amalgadon. Like, with how many 6s we've seen from Discovers, from triples, where's the Amalgadons? Like, that's why I tripled the first 2 ones I had, because I knew there were still a lot in the pool. No one else of my opponents has had an Amalgadon, so maybe someone is taking it out of the pool. I don't know. I could generate more with Seafood Slinger, with the Lookouts I've been picking, and the Tads, but yeah, they just seem to be gone, and I'm very confused, and that makes my decision seem kind of bad of tripling the Amalgadon in the first place, but I still stand by it, because that way you're also able to take Amalgadons for opponents out of the pool. Like, we have 3 dongs on our board here, meaning less for our opponents to find as well. It's top 2 against the Cat, which is what I was scared of. Now I'm taking Selflesses finally, trying to attack, and I'm gonna go all in here. This is probably the turn where the Flatus has to go as well. I'm just gonna end on Selfless and another poison, I'm pretty sure. We also, yeah, as you saw last fight, killed the Mutinous just because he still had the same kind of board that loses super hard to poison. And let's see, I haven't faced the Cat yet. I don't know what they're up to. Are they gonna have all of my Amalgadons, and is that gonna answer the question? They only have 1. They stole the big Trickster from the Mutinous, and they have like kind of an iffy board, kind of the same like me, just a bunch of poison and then a big Trickster and a Selfless, and I guess a big Gold Grubber, which is essentially the same as just having a big poison. Now my Imp Mama is pretty useful though, because it could bump shields from the Selfless. It could also eat the small poison dude, like the 4/6 on their opponent's board. So this fight just seems like a bunch of flips, seeing who can bump shields, who has the best shields that they can land and get value from, or who can just, you know, get better trades. But in the end, they have 2 dudes, I have 2 dudes. It's a tie, and we're gonna go into another round. We're both low HP, so 1 hit and we're both dead. We also know each other's boards, so it's mind game time. Now my Discovers don't help me that much, doesn't really matter. I'm wondering if Zap is good. Probably not, unless they find a Baron, but even then I don't want to take that risk. Positioning wise, I decided to change this up a bit. I'm gonna sell my Agam as well, because it's just the same as having a random Murloc on the board, a poison at this point. I'm also taunting myself as I'm valuing an Argus here, because they have a Selfless as well. They're going to use their Selfless as a bumper, so maybe their Selfless hits into my Selfless and saves the shield onto my Amalgadon. Or maybe their Amalgadon hits into Selfless first, loses the shield. So I'm taunting another small dude, so that way that could happen. Now I go first. This is huge, killing their Trickster first. Now the Selfless, I hope it hits right side. It didn't. That is what I played around. That is why I taunted my Selfless as well. And now my Amalgadon just hits into the Dong, while the Dongs could have still hit into my Selfless as well. This is very bad. A lot of things I want to play around just didn't happen, sadly. And then now it's about, can I bump this shield or not with my plants? And I can't. The fight still seems pretty close and winnable at this point, but I mean, After that hit, probably not anymore. It's gonna be a second place, but pretty close to a first place, honestly. And that is impressive with Galewing, a hero I hate and don't value to be that good. I hope you enjoyed this Galewing strat. I hope you'll make use of it as well and get good games. Thank you for watching. Go check out Dami in the description and have a good day.